So this is our 77 Corvette, and I'm having an issue with my headlights, and I pulled the pod out of it here, the actuator. That's where it is, in there. Now to get that much space in there, I actually had to take the hinge out of the hood here, the couple of bolts, took that off, pushed this back, propped it up with a piece of wood, and it gave me enough space in here to work this thing back in. Now the reason why I took this out is because right here on the front, when I set up the vacuum on it by just sucking with my mouth or blowing air into it is what I actually did here. I felt a leak on my face right in there, so I filled that hole right in there with epoxy and painted it. So now it looks a little better. With the paint, I'll probably keep the rust away. Now I'm going to put it back in. It goes in here and it fits on that bracket right there, and when I get it in there I'll show you a little more. So I have it partially in place now, and what I'm going to do is lower the hood and work at it from underneath, and it's going to allow me to get this into place a little easier right there the way it is. I can actually maneuver it around to get it into place. It's just not enough space, so I'm going to close the hood and work from underneath. Okay, so here we are underneath the car, and I also had to remove the horn. With the horn out of the way, I actually made it a little bit easier to take it up over the top. Now I've got that in there. I just got to line everything up and make sure that my bolt holes are in the right place and my air hose or vacuum feeds are in the right place. And there it is right there. And I do believe that goes on the bottom right there, if I remember correctly. So I'll get that in place and show you more. So there we go. With a little bit of moving around, the hood closed and the plunger pushed all the way in, we actually got it into place. And now I'll just put all the nuts on, tighten it all up, and hook up my plunger and my springs. Show you a little more after that. There we go. She's all back in place. And these actually work. Springs are loaded. And in this pin that goes across here, there's a plastic bushing on this side and on this side, and a cotter key right there. So don't lose those bushings when you take it apart. Now, gotta go over to the other side, which is over there, and do the same thing. I'm going to pull that one out, and I'm going to inspect it to see if it needs repaired as well. Got any holes in it? No holes, this is good. Okay, so I unhooked the springs, and I actually got the vacuum line unhooked on that one over there, so that this, you can actually push it up into place once you get the springs off. Makes it a little easier to work with. It gets everything out of the way. And now I'm going to pull the cotter key out of here and slide that pin through it. Remember? Okay, so it's partially out. So we're working at getting it the rest of the way out. Not sure what I'm going to do here yet, but we'll see. As I reach up in there, maybe I move it around a little bit. See what happens. There we go. Once I opened up the light again, I was able to move it over into that location there. So now I'm going to open up the hood and see if I can bring it up through the top, because I don't think I can bring it through the bottom here. Too much stuff in the way. So there it lies. So I'm just going to pull it up like this out of the hole, and now I'm going to go work on it, have a look and see if there's any holes, and replace these rubbers here at the same time. They're pretty simple to change. So to replace these rubbers, I'm going to take this piece off here. And I checked it, screw it all the way down, and that's where it goes. And these rubbers, you just pull them out of place like that. Looks like they had some kind of grease in there. And in here you got a prong there and a prong there and a prong there bent underneath all of this stuff. So you got to find a tool to get it out with, and I've been using my chisel. Seem to work pretty good. So I'm going to take that apart and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. There we go. So it's just a washer. They give you a new one of those, so you must put the new one on. And then in here I've got another rubber. See if I can bring that out. You can actually see it. There it is. And pull that all out and clean it. Put a new rubber in. Take that rubber out. All you have to do is take a screwdriver and get underneath the rubber right here, and it'll pop right out. Just like that. That's how she comes apart. Pretty hard to do this with one working hand and one holding the camera. So I'm going to clean that all up, put the new rubbers in, check for any leaks in the canister, and put it back together. There we go. We took a spray bomb and I went around it, sprayed it up, made it look good. I didn't see any leaks in this one, didn't hear any leaks in this one. So I'm going to put the rubbers back together and give it a squeeze and a pull and see what happens. I think this one's good. These are the old parts, and there's the new ones that are going to go in. The first thing we're going to put in would be this one here. And that goes in there, like that. And you got to line up these slots right here with the inside of this. So you just push it in with a screwdriver. Fits right in nicely. So before you put this rubber on, a little electrical tape over the threads so you don't damage the inside of this, because it does have to sit in this groove here. So there we go. As you can see, it's almost all the way in there. Take a screwdriver, very carefully push it in, going to work. This is crude, but as long as you're careful, it does the trick. And me working with one hand and trying to show you guys makes it a little difficult. And there it is, in place. Now the next thing that goes on is this ring. This ring goes on like that. And then you fold the prongs over inside. And what I was using was my bent needle nose pliers. It seemed to work pretty good. If I can do this to show you. Just like that. I'll do the other three too, and then show you the rest. So there we go. The rubber's all stretched into place, and that's how it works, just like that. I'm going to show you if it's working or not. Let's see. Let's stick it in front of the camera here. Just like that. That's what it's supposed to do. And now just take the tape off and put that other piece back on. And we're ready to reinstall it.